All right, Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Ruach Kodash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom, and salute to the hopefully elect. So when I was watching this, this is some animation, video game on a computer. And they got certain battles and stuff like that. Pretty cool animation game. But the first thing I saw when I played this is this. You see the guys in the background. Hold on. This would have looked like when David was fighting against Elijah. David and Goliath, Salaki. This big character right here, Saran, he would have looked like that. All right, and as you see, that's why the Israelites. Let me get the account. Hold on. All right, check this out. This is the account right here. So this is 1 Samuel chapter 17. I started 1. It says, "Now the Philistines gathered." Now, check this out. The Philistines were the Israelites' most enemy. They were their biggest enemy, all right? You always fought against those Hamites, all right? So, damn, what the fuck? Hold on. Okay, it says, "Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle and were gathered together at Shachach, which belongeth to Judah, and pitched between Shachach and Azekah in the Ephezadam. So it probably was like a field, just like how you saw in that, like a battlefield, basically. So it said, "And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah and set the battle in array against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the one side, and Israel stood on the mountain on the other side." So basically, it was like a matter of fact. We're gonna come back. Hold on, we're gonna come back. All right, so I'm gonna pull up an example. You see this? Hold on.
On one side, we have the fearsome Sith Lord Darth Vader, leading an army of 20,000 Jedi warriors. That's right, folks. Darth Vader has turned the tables and is now commanding the Jedi. With his mastery of the dark side of the Force and the legendary skills of the Jedi warriors, this team is a force to be reckoned with. And on the other side, we have the mighty Roman army, led by 10,000 Roman generals and backed by 2 million Roman soldiers. 10,000.
So, just giving you an example of how it would have been, like, or I can use
Today,
this.
we've got a battle of gods that's going to be legendary. On one side, we have the mighty Thor and his 40,000 Asgardian soldiers. These Asgardians are no joke.
And back then, they was dressing sort of like, as the characters, how you see right there. But let's go back to the script. All right, so it said, "And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the one side," as we just saw it on the animation, "and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side, and there was a valley between them." So it was sort of like what we just saw in the animation, right? So it says, "And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath, a Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span." So this dude was huge. It said, "And he had a helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of his coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. And he had a grievous and a brass upon his legs, and a target of brass between his shoulders." Listen to this. "And the staff of his spear was like a weaver bin, and his spearhead weighed 600 shekels of iron, and one burned a shield went before him." All right, so let's go back to the anime. I'm gonna show you how he would look. So this is probably the closest depiction. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Let's see. Now this would have been Goliath. How tall he could have been, possibly a little smaller, or a little taller. Now watch how this Saron take out these Roman soldiers. And the Roman soldiers, they took on customs that the Israelites. So imagine an Israelite. We probably dress similar to this in battle, except for our you never know. We probably did have battle shorter things so our legs can move more and all that. So but we dressed sort of like this when we went to war. So similar to like the Roman how they dress right now. So let's go ahead and play it. Look how big Goliath would have been to a regular Israelite. You see? So that's how it would have looked. You see how he just took them out like that? So Goliath probably was known for just killing like 10 regular, you know what I mean? 10 regular soldiers or whatever. Let's go back to the, so that's why I was reading the part on, he said his staff, it said it was a brass. So it probably looked sort of like that. It said in his target of a brass between his shoulders, and the staff of his spear was like a weaver beam. And his spear head weighed 600 shekels of iron. So that thing was, so it probably, when he swung that motherfucker, that probably would have killed like 2 or 3 people with one swing. It said, and one bearing a shield went before him. So it said, and he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel and said unto them, why are you come out to set battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me and kill me, then will we be your servants. So he was basically like, showing out. Basically, he said, but if I prevail against him and kill him, then you be our servants and serve us. It says, and the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. So he calling out the fade, basically. So he called Israel for a fade. He like, get one of your men. If one of your men take me out, then we'll become your servants. If I take your man out, then y'all gonna serve us. Basically, what that's saying. So it says, when Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistines, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Yeah, they was afraid because that you see how big Goliath would have looked. We just saw the animation. He would have looked like that. So it says, now David was the son of that Ephraim of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. And he had 8 sons. And the man went among men for an old man in the days of Saul. It says, and the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shammah. And David was the youngest, and the 3 elders followed Saul. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. It says, and the Philistines drew near morning and evening, and presented themselves 40 days. So it says, and Jesse said unto David his son, take now for thy brethren an ephah of this parched corn, and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to thy brethren, and carry these 10 cheeses unto the captain of their thousands, and look how thy brethren fare, and take their plant. So he went to bring him food, basically. So it says, now Saul and they and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah, fighting with the Philistines. It says, and David arose up early in the morning and left the sheep with a keeper and took and went, and Jesse had commanded him, and he came to the trench as a host was going forth to fight and shouted for battle. Let's go to the point, because I'm not gonna. When you get a chance, brothers, whoever see this video, just read this whole chapter. It's a great chapter. It's about David and how David, of course, you already know the story, killed Goliath, unalived Goliath, and he was just a little kid, man. So David was special, bro. But I just wanted to play that video to show you like the spiritual power. Now I got another animation that I'm gonna show to you. It reminded me of when an angel took out 60,000. Like when the Lord said an angel could take out the whole Roman army. Check this out. Hold on. So we're going, this whole chapter goes into how David took out Goliath. Now we saw the animation of how Goliath would have looked. I'm about to show you how an angel could take out a army of Roman soldiers. Now check this out. And I kind of like this channel because they got plenty of other channels to show you like animations like battles and wars. You know, brothers that's into animation and video games. But it's a lot of channels, but this is just one of the many channels that's like this. Now I found now watch this. This is called One Super Archer, and a lot of these guys got spiritual power. And Lord willing, I'll do a video on it to show you that Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High, Yahweh, he you know how he was having spiritual power and healing, and you know, and they would have classified Jake as like an X-Men. You know, the X-Men came from the what was his name? I forgot his name. The writer and producer of X-Men. He got the whole idea X-Men from Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. You know, Professor X and Professor Xavier was supposed to be that. And then the X-Men was supposed to have been us, Jake, going against, you know, the regular society, the Edomite society. But let's look at this. Now, this super archer represents an angel. And you got 1,000 Spartans, right? Which they would be like a Greek, I'll say Greek Roman type army. But watch how the super archer take out all, and this spiritual power right here. Watch how the super archer take out these 1,000 Spartans, or you will call Greco-Roman Empire. Watch this. One archer took out 1,000. Now it's another one on here where he took out 100,000. Let me try to find out. Here it is. So this angel, right? This archer represents an angel taking out 100,000 Roman soldiers. Oh no, is this a zombie one? Hold on. Look at that. All right, so this is a zombie one. But let's look at this. This 100,000 zombies or whatever. Now watch how quick he take these, and this ammunition is this showing you. Took out 100,000. And I just wanted to show you that. You know what I'm saying? I think it was 100,000 or 10,000 to show you what it would, so you can have an idea. And the scriptures. Let's get it. All right, we had Exodus chapter 15 and verse 3. It says, "The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name." So the Lord is a man of war. He sets these wars up. What it said, Isaiah 45 and 7, I kill it and I'll make it for lie. Is there evil in the city and the Lord has not done it? I kill, I make it for lie. I set up wars, you know. Is there peace in the city? And what it says, is there evil in the city and the Lord has not done it? So that's all I had on this particular lesson. Lord willing, this was edifying. Till again, shalom.